I'm absolutely confident that I can do this now.
Well, that's good. I think that's great, but in the long term, that may be not feasible to do that the rest of your life without the surgery. And that was the surgery is a tool that will give you a better control of your eating habits. Steven, what's going on with your behavior? You got a whole host of complaints from the nurses that you need to change your behavior. You haven't. There's nothing I can do to help. So you're done here. You will not be admitted back. You are finished.
Can I please have another chance?
No.
Alright, buckle up, because this gets wild as we see just how much Chris's mom can make or break this journey. Chris thinks about how having his mom back in his life could either be the golden ticket he needs or the big problem that keeps him stuck. Both of them seem super ready to change things, but let's be real, we've heard that before. Chris is really hoping this new mom support squad can get him on track. Stay tuned to see if this family duo can handle the weight. Literally.
This is all gonna be up to Chris. And the question is, with his mom coming back in his life, if she's gonna be the support he needs, or she's gonna end up enabling him. Hopefully, both of them are serious about what they are saying, and they are ready to do what it takes to save Chris' life.
Now here's where it gets next level. Chris's morning routine is basically a workout session just to stand up. Since he's too big for a regular bed, he sleeps on a mattress close to the floor and has to do this wild rolling and somersault move to get up. He flings himself forward in a way that sounds almost like he's launching a cannonball just to stand. All that work just to get up and start the day. The next clip is a tough one, and even breakfast isn't as easy as you'd think.
I'm too big to sleep in a normal bed, so I have to sleep on a mattress 1 foot off the floor. And to get to my feet, I roll forward out of bed really fast, kind of like a somersault. I lean back and then I whip my legs forward and it just pulls the rest of me up to standing.
When cooking breakfast is more like running a marathon, this is rough, folks. Standing in the kitchen is so uncomfortable for Chris that he's taken to sitting on a cooler to cook, which, let's be honest, is kind of clever, but also kind of sad. The weight between his legs keeps him from standing straight, which makes cooking take forever. This limited setup messes with how much and what he eats. Just wait till you hear what happens next. This guy isn't just cooking with his hands.
My weight makes it challenging to cook the kind of breakfast that I want. Because of the weight and the fat in between my legs, I can't stand up straight, so they're constantly pushing apart, which makes it really uncomfortable to stand in the kitchen for a long period of time, so I actually have to sit on a cooler that I sit on when I cook.
This part is intense. Chris's relationship with food is about as dramatic as a soap opera. He calls it going red, which is basically when he eats so fast and furiously that he doesn't stop until the food's gone. Eating makes him feel better, like a magic spell against loneliness, even though it's only temporary. It's pretty clear food has become a way of shutting down his emotions. Coming up, we dive into Chris's past, where all these habits got their start.
I make the meal with my stomach, not with my brain, so I have a really big meal, and when I start eating, as soon as I hit that first bite, I eat it all. I call it going red. I can't stop. When I'm eating, I don't think of anything, and it clears my mind. The food, when I eat food, at least for the time that I'm eating it.
Get ready for the big heartstrings moment, because Chris's goals are all about family love. He desperately wants to be there for his daughter and do stuff together, but his health has made it nearly impossible. He's got some personal goals too, and he's starting to realize his weight has been holding him back big time. Just thinking about his daughter gives him the push to change. Let's see if he can tackle the next part of his journey for real.
All right, so Chris, you're 36 years old and 620. What do you do in Oklahoma?
Right now, I'm not doing anything in Oklahoma.
Any goals?
Oh yes, I definitely have some goals. My biggest things I want to do things with my daughter, but I also want to. There's a lot of things I want to do for myself.
So you have a daughter too?
Mm-hmm.
This part is a real bummer. Chris's day basically goes like this: eat, play video games, feel lonely, repeat. He admits he's stuck in a cycle where he eats out of boredom and sadness, which only keeps him trapped in his health issues. He realizes his eating is about filling a void, and he wants to find a way to break free of it. Next up, he finally gets a professional plan, and it's time to see if he can stick to it.
So what do you do all day?
Right now I play games and eat food when I'm bored or feel alone.
So what do you think is wrong with your eating habit?
I'm eating too much of everything, eating the wrong things.
So for the past 36 years, you're eating too much. So what is the difference now? Why did you decide to do something now?
I want more.
This part is all about the do or diet moment, and things get serious. Dr. Now gives Chris a strict 1 to 200 calorie plan to start his weight loss journey, which sounds small but mighty. Chris seems motivated to show Dr. Now that he's ready to make this massive change. This is his first time on a real plan, and it feels like he's finally got the tools. But will this game plan be enough to keep him going?
It's been about a month since I seen Dr. Now for my first appointment. Coming back took us 12 hours because of traffic and the weather. So it was a hard trip on me, but worth it because of the help I got from Dr. Now to start to turn my life around. But how hard that trip was on me.
It's a whole new world for Chris as he realizes just how limited his body has become during a simple trip home. After struggling on the long journey, Chris understands even more how urgent it is for him to improve his stamina. Simple wins, like being able to walk outside and take out his own trash, feel like gold medals to him. It's clear these small victories are giving him hope. What he does next will surprise you. Even his daily habits get a major shakeup.
Showed me even more how important it was for me to get healthy, just so I can function, So I'm working hard to up my stamina by doing the stretches and exercises that I need.
I couldn't take the trash out before when I would go out to walk. Sounds funny, but taking the trash out feels pretty good. Not having to have somebody else take your trash out for you it's pretty nice. It's just those things you don't really think of until you can't do it anymore. It's something I can definitely do now.
Family is everything for Chris, and he's about to get a big dose of it. Chris's mom stays with him for a while to help, but she has to go back to care for his brother, who needs her support. She plans to move in permanently soon, and Chris wants to return the favor by getting healthy enough to take care of her. This shared commitment makes Chris even more determined to succeed. But will he be able to keep up the progress once she leaves?
After coming back home, my mom stayed with me for a couple more weeks, but then she had to go back to Vegas to be with my brother since he's mentally challenged. Someone has to help take care of him, and he lives with my mom because of that. So with my mom moving in with me, he's gonna move in too. But right now, she says she has to tie up some things back home for them to make the move, and then she plans to be here to help me. But I'm hoping that if I lose a lot of weight soon.
This one's wild because Chris takes his dieting to the extreme, going for fasting 5 days straight to drop weight. Chris is only eating every 5 days and sticking to high protein, low carb meals on his eating days. His daughter jumps on board with healthy eating too, so he doesn't get tempted by her food. With his family cheering him on, he's more motivated than ever. Next up, we check in with Dr. Now, who has some thoughts on this fasting thing.
And my daughter says she's willing to eat what I eat when she's with me, so I don't have to get something else for her that may tempt me.
It's great to see my dad eat healthy stuff.
Just want ham and lettuce.
My dad eats lettuce, a bunch of other healthy food like mushrooms, and it makes me feel happy.
Dr. Now doesn't hold back, telling Chris he's gotta cool it with the super long fasting if he wants to stay healthy. At his checkup, Chris explains his new routine of sticking to the 200 calorie diet with intense 5-day fasting. Dr. Now suggests he switch to shorter fasts for a healthier approach, like intermittent fasting. This gives Chris a more balanced way to keep losing weight. The next step is all about his long-term goals. Things are about to get serious.
Been sticking to, I won't eat over 1,200 calories a day, but I do mainly all protein, but I've been fasting. I ate for 5 days, and then I fast for 5 days.
So when you fast, you don't eat anything all day?
Yeah, just drink water.
All day?
Yeah, all day.
So-
I do have I take vitamins. and
So you
stuff.
say you're fasting for 5 days in a row? So you're going from overeating to not eating anything?
Well, I wanted to kind of give myself a reset.
Chris's goals get real here, and they're all about fixing the big stuff, not just his weight. He lays out a 2-year plan where the first year's all about health, and the second's focused on getting back to work and having a normal life. Chris knows he needs to build a strong base so he doesn't fall back into old habits. This big picture thinking shows he's serious about lasting change. His next reflection digs even deeper into why he's stuck in his habits.
One of my biggest goals is to get out of the house and not feel so lonely all the time, meeting people or just being able to go somewhere with my daughter.
All right, so what are some of your other goals?
I have a long-term goal right now. I have a 2-year plan. First year's a big focus on health, getting back into working. get a good career going, save up some money. I have a couple, I don't know exactly what I want to do yet.
This is a major self-check moment as Chris talks about how loneliness has been the real driver behind his eating. Reflecting on his years of isolation, he realizes he's using food to deal with feeling sad and alone. He remembers being more positive and outgoing in the past, and he wants that version of himself back. This moment gives him extra motivation to change his emotional habits. What comes next? A big decision that could change everything.
Do good kind of person, just went away.
All right, that's good. I'm glad you decided to change your life and make it better. So the next step will be I want you to move down to Houston.
Okay.
The drive you had to make is still a little bit long to keep making that trip. I'll give you a couple of months to lose another 30 pounds.
Watching Chris's whole family get in on the weight loss action is both sweet and hilarious. Now that Chris has lost 139 pounds, his family decides to join him by eating healthier and working out too. They all go on walks together, and it's clear that Chris's determination is rubbing off. The support makes him even more committed to stick with it. But can they all keep up the pace? Only time will tell.
You're down to 481 pounds, no?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd be a little lower.
Well, losing 44 pounds in 2 months is not bad at this point. So far, you have lost 139 pounds, huh?
Yep.
All right. And whole family is losing too, so that's great. So how is everybody in the family doing?
Good.
We're doing good.
These two stick with me. They do everything. Every push, every time I push, they push.
Dr. Now gives Chris a reality check, reminding him that keeping the weight off long term might still require surgery. Although he's impressed with Chris's progress, he warns that surgery could give him a better shot at keeping his eating habits in check. Long-term weight loss is tricky, and even with surgery, people struggle to keep it off. Dr. Now plans monthly check-ins to make sure Chris stays on track. The question now, can Chris handle this all alone, or will he need that final boost?
Keep it up with your weight loss and stay on track. So keep it up, and we work with you as long as you can do that. We support you and see how you're doing with this plan going forward. Okay? In the meantime, if you have any issues or anything, let me know.
I will.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, we'll see you then.
Whoa, this guy's life is really upside down from the start. Brandon's feeling like his own body is a prison, and he's worried his girlfriend Taylor might have to, well, bathe him soon if he doesn't lose weight. He's seriously talking about how he could die if he doesn't change his ways. This is where he starts realizing it's time to get moving. Literally.
I feel like I'm living a nightmare, where my own body is this prison I'm trapped in, and my girlfriend Taylor will have to start bathing and cleaning me in bed if I don't change. Taylor and I do not partake in intimacy because of my size, but also we're waiting until we're married, but that won't happen unless I lose the weight.
So, Brandon gets this hardcore 1,200 calorie diet that's like practically nothing compared to what he was eating. He's 718 pounds, and Dr. Now says lose 120 pounds in 2 months, and just throws down this challenge. Brandon's all in, and Taylor's helping him, and it's just the start of this big journey. And wait till you see if he actually does it.
Brandon is 33 and 718 pounds. So there's no way around it except that we got to lose weight.
I'm willing to do whatever you tell me.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a diet that is high protein and low carb, and it's limited to 1,200 calories a day. And what I want you to do is lose 120 pounds over the next 2
It's been a month, and I immediately started on the diet and the exercises that Dr. Now gave me.
Holy moly. Brandon comes back 2 months later, and he's lost 141 pounds. He's down to 577, and Dr. Now's like, all right, let's do this weight loss surgery. Brandon's pumped. He's already imagining the new, lighter version of himself. Let's see if this surgery gives him the boost he's looking for.
You're down to 577.
Yes.
So you lost 141 pounds in 2 months, huh?
Yes.
And since you lost your weight and you've shown that you can stick with your diet, I'm going to approve you for weight loss surgery.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Today, we're attempting to do a gastric sleeve procedure on Brandon. This surgery is going to be a very helpful tool for him.
All right, so here comes the serious stuff with Brandon's dad, which is kind of a punch to the gut. Brandon's got some old issues with his dad, and it's been bugging him, so he decides to turn his pain into a song. Dr. Now's cool with it, saying it's all part of the healing. Up next, get ready to see some huge changes in Brandon's weight.
Dad and I had a falling out. There was some infidelity, and we had an argument over the phone.
So, Brandon, I think it's really important
important that you consider writing him a letter about your feelings regarding the way he exited your life.
I'm writing a song about my father to at least try to take a step in the direction I need to face this.
So you're down to 383 today.
Yes.
Brandon's on a roll, now down to 383 pounds, which is a big jump from where he started. He's still holding on to his music dreams in Nashville, but for now, the goal is all about the weight loss. Dr. Now starts mentioning the possibility of removing his extra skin, which is a game changer for Brandon. Just wait till you see the crazy progress he makes next.
I'm headed to Dr. Now's clinic for another appointment, and I'm feeling good about my progress. I still haven't heard back from the places I was talking to in Nashville, so all that is still up in the air. So unless
When you hear he's dropped over 450 pounds, you've gotta say, wow! Brandon's down to 265 pounds, and Dr. Now hints that if he gets that extra skin off, he might even be under 200 pounds. Brandon's stoked. Can you imagine carrying around almost half a ton, and then boom! You're a whole new person? This next part will blow your mind.
So you're down to 265 pounds today?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I remember first day I saw you were 718 pounds.
Yes.
So you lost over 450 pounds.
Yes, sir.
Almost twice as much as you weigh now.
That's right.
Can you imagine that?
No, it's been crazy.
So how do you feel now?
This part's wild. Dr. Now gives the green light for Brandon's skin removal surgery, but Brandon's like, hang on, I want to chase my music dreams first. So he's planning a big move to Nashville while thinking about the surgery later. Dr. Now's all like, go for it, follow your dreams, but come back for the surgery when you're ready. Things are about to get real interesting, so don't go anywhere.
You can be ready next month to take some time to recover from the surgery, and there is no issues with the healing process.
Well, I'm thinking about moving to Tennessee, to Nashville, the music city, to pursue my career and get music going.
This next part is a huge awe moment. Brandon pops the question, and he's engaged to Taylor. They're inviting Dr. Now to the wedding and everything, which is honestly adorable. But Dr. Now reminds Brandon he's gotta stay on track with his weight, even with all the wedding buzz. Buckle up, because these two are about to make some major life moves.
I'm getting married to Taylor, so I want to invite you to the wedding.
Well, congratulations. So a lot of things is happening with you.
Yes.
Good thing. So, well, congratulations. So when is the big date?
I'm not sure yet, so we're still in the planning process, but
Brandon and Taylor throw caution to the wind and move to Nashville for Brandon's music dreams. Surgery can wait for now, as he's hustling with a part-time gig while also pursuing music. They've got a wedding date set, so they're basically in full-on happy ever after mode. Things get real as he starts thinking about what all this means for his life.
after my last appointment a few months ago, I got a call and it was an opportunity I wanted. So Taylor and I made the leap and moved up here to Nashville and held off on my skin removal surgery. So for now, I'm working as a leasing agent part-time and pursuing my music career. And Taylor and I plan to get married next year. We set a date, so it's happening really soon. And by then, I may have gone back to get the skin removal.
Brandon looks back and can't believe he's lost 482 pounds. It's a huge deal. Like, he's basically another person. He's super proud and determined never to go back to that 700-pound life ever. Now that he's got this fresh start, he says it's all thanks to Taylor. Wait until you see what this new life looks like for him.
I've worked hard to get to this place. In less than 2 years, I've lost 482 pounds. And I'm gonna work just as hard to stay here because I'll never risk losing this life and I'll never go back to the way I was. I feel like I'm living a nightmare where my own body is this prison I'm trapped in and it keeps me from being able to live my life or even do anything because I'm so big.
Brandon's out here living his best life, singing and performing with a whole new confidence that's totally unrecognizable. He's on stage, full of gratitude, giving props to Taylor for helping him become a better guy. His whole vibe is totally different now. He believes in himself, finally, and you're gonna love Taylor's reaction to all this.
Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I just feel overwhelmed with so much energy mentally and emotionally. The old me had the longing inside, but there was one thing lacking, and that was the believing in myself. And that took Taylor's love.
Taylor's all smiles and shock at how much Brandon has changed. She's seriously proud, and she's got reason to be. She sees old pictures and can barely recognize the guy she fell for. Now, he's got so much energy, she's the one telling him to slow down. They're ready to take on anything, together, just thriving. And that's where their story takes off into a bright future.
It seems unreal, then it shocks me when I see old photos. But now he has more energy than I do even. He wants to go out all the time. I feel like we can conquer anything now.
This is wild. Just 2 years ago, she wouldn't have guessed she'd be here, doing her own thing. After 2 years since her weight loss surgery, she's finally feeling that sweet taste of freedom. She even moved out of her family's house, where they used to do everything for her, from helping her get dressed to getting her in and out of bed. Now she's on her own, loving every minute of it. But just when things are looking up, she's about to face a whole new challenge.
It's been 2 years since I had weight loss surgery, and I would have never imagined life could be so great. I've gained a whole new independence, and I finally moved out from my family's house. They had to do everything for me.
I have to have help getting dressed or getting up out of bed.
She's also going through a divorce? Yup, it's been a year since she split with her ex, who mostly just helped her stay stuck in her old ways. Now she's all about focusing on her health and doing things her way. Life after her split has been all about that solo glow up, and she's finally got her eyes on the prize, staying healthy. And just as she's crushing it, someone totally unexpected pops into her life.
And it's been a year since I finalized the divorce with my ex-husband. Our relationship centered on him enabling me.
How many nibblers does everybody want?
But now I can focus more on getting healthy. I've lost a lot of weight in the last year, mostly because I'm really careful about what I eat. But when I look in the mirror,
surprise! Here comes Shane, her longtime friend, who's now her boyfriend and biggest cheerleader. Shane recently moved in, but they go way back. He's known her since before her journey even started. He's been rooting for her all along, and now he's helping her feel brave, even though she's still a bit shy about her looks. With Shane by her side, things are feeling right, but she's about to get some big news about her next surgery.
I'm currently living with my boyfriend Shane. He moved in about a month ago.
Hey. You wanna jump in?
Yeah. Shane and I have been friends for 8 years. He knew me at my biggest and was also really supportive of me. After dating for a while, things got serious and I asked him to move in with me.
Talk about a glow-up journey. Now she's approved for surgery to get rid of the extra skin on her arms, and she couldn't be happier. Even after dropping all that weight, the leftover skin keeps reminding her of the past, and she's ready to say goodbye to it for good. She's thinking this is the last step she needs to feel at home in her body, and she's pumped for what's next. But when the surgery's over, things get a little, well, complicated.
But Dr. Now has approved me for skin surgery on my arms, so I'm really hoping that helps me finally be happy with how I look. It's really hard for me to be present when I'm out in public because I'm so distracted the way my body looks. I'm hoping that once the surgery is out of the way and I feel better about my body.
Yikes, post-surgery isn't all sunshine and rainbows like she thought. A month later, she's kind of shocked that she doesn't feel totally amazing about her body, even with the improvements. The whole thing feels like a brain puzzle she can't solve, and it's kind of bumming her out. Thankfully, Shane's there to keep her spirits up, but she's about to get some real talk from her doctor about her diet. Wait.
Today I'm having surgery to have the extra skin on my arms removed. I've been working really hard to lose the weight by watching what I'm eating, and I'm anxious to move forward with this next step.
Are you very nervous, baby?
No.
I'm nervous.
In my head, I'm still 708 pounds.
She's not eating enough now? After all that work, now she's struggling to get enough calories in because she's so scared of gaining weight again. The doctor says her 400 calories a day is way too low and wants her to eat more, build muscle, and focus on staying healthy overall. It's a whole new level of tough, but she's trying to trust the process. But just when she's managing the diet stuff, her doctor drops a bomb about her mental health.
I was scared I'd break the scale, but now I have no reason to be scared. Wow. Not expecting that at all. I feel good about Dr. Now approving me.
Hello, how are you today? All right, I see you down to 160. What's going on with your eating?
Turns out, the doctor thinks she could use some help with her mental game too. He suggests she see a therapist to help her tackle all the stuff swirling around in her head about her body and her journey. She's starting to realize that staying healthy isn't just about dropping weight. It's also about feeling good on the inside. With therapy on her to-do list, she's hoping to finally feel at peace. But first, she has to tackle gaining some weight back. Guess who's back on track?
We need to address all these issues. Christina needs to get to the root of her anxiety with her body. She will not be healthy in long term if she doesn't resolve these issues. Next time, I want to see that you gain 15 pounds. Then we can discuss your next surgery. You have to be healthy, Christina. Okay.
The doctor doesn't understand that
She's been putting in the work, eating more, and finally, her doctor gives her the green light for surgery on her legs. This is huge for her. It's like the final piece of the puzzle to say goodbye to her old self. With this approval, she feels like she's finally moving towards a life she can fully enjoy. Now comes the next big moment. Can she finally feel good about herself in her new skin?
I'm back at Dr. Now's office to see if I've gained enough weight to get approved for my leg surgery. It's still a little hard for me to see that number go up, but I did what Dr. Now wanted and gained some weight.
Hello. Okay, so your weight is now 177. It's good. That's 17 pounds up.
Look who's feeling herself now. After all the surgeries, she's finally able to go out and do simple stuff like shopping for clothes, and it's giving her that confidence boost she's needed. For the first time, she's starting to see herself the way others do, and it feels pretty darn good. Every new step she takes is a step toward being totally cool with herself, but her journey's not over yet, and her doctor's got one last piece of advice.
I've been working really hard lately to be okay with who I am. And now that I finished my skin surgery, it's nice to buy clothes that speak to who I am. It's making it a little bit easier to see what everyone else sees. Definitely a confidence boost. When I was 700 pounds, I couldn't go anywhere in public, let alone go shopping for clothes.
Hold up, she's down 537 pounds. Her doctor's pumped, calling her a total rock star for all the progress she's made. He's all about giving her credit for not just the weight loss, but also her strength in getting through all the ups and downs. This moment is pure validation, and she's finally realizing just how strong she's been. With the journey nearly behind her, it's time for a life she never thought possible.
All right, so you lost 537 pounds. That's a lot of weight to lose.
Thank you.
Christina is a really amazing success story. I know it's been a difficult process for her to have a healthy outlook on food and her self-image, but she's made great progress. You've done an amazing job.
Now, this is the happy ending we're rooting for. She's grateful to have Shane, who's been there through every wild step, and now they're looking forward to the future together. With her surgeries in the past, she's finally free to live a life full of brand new experiences that once seemed totally impossible. Now the sky's the limit, and she's ready for all the good things coming her way. From here on out, it's her time to shine, and there's no stopping her.
I'm so glad I found someone that loves me like Shane. Now my life is full of so many new experiences that I could never have imagined when I was big.
This part is just wild. The guy's life is like a real-life video game set to hard mode. He's talking about his body like it's a prison he can't escape from. Just walking to the bathroom leaves him huffing and puffing like he ran a marathon. And you can almost feel how his whole day's a workout he didn't sign up for. Even getting out of bed feels like a mission. And trust me, you'll want to see what makes everything harder next.
It's scary waking up because everything gets a little harder each morning. My body feels like a prison. I feel like I'm trapped. Like, I can get up and out of bed, but I get short of breath walking to the bathroom from my bed. I'll start losing my breath.
Now, this is next level. He's got the world's best helper, and she's pretty much his superhero. He's really grateful for his caretaker, who basically helps him with everything from washing his hair to keeping him steady. It's like his daily life is a team project, and he's not even the team captain. The way he needs her for the simplest things just gets wilder. But wait until you hear what he can't do next.
On a bad day, as soon as I get up, you'll hear my knees like, it'll continuously like pop, 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 pop. Pain is usually excruciating. Any normal person should not be short of breath, gasping for air like I do. Elena, can you bring my towels?
Sure, I'm coming.
I could not live by myself and I wouldn't survive.
This part is both kinda sad and kinda jaw-dropping. He's not even able to use the bathroom without help. He explains that he's losing his independence, and you can feel the frustration. He's trying to keep up with daily stuff, like staying clean, but just doing normal things feels like running a marathon. And yep, things are about to get even trickier.
I can use the bathroom by myself, but I can't really wipe myself. It's all come over me recently, I'm more disappointed than scared. But I shower every day. I try to stay as clean as possible.
The breakfast order here, absolutely off the charts. He's having a mountain of eggs, sausages, and biscuits, like he's getting ready to run a food race. Plus, he needs someone to prep it all, making food a whole event in his day. You'd think that's a lot, but wait until you hear the backstory on how food became his happy place.
What are we gonna have for breakfast?
5 eggs scrambled with cheese, biscuits.
Okay, how many sausages?
7.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna get it ready for you.
Thank you. I live here for free with my sister and brother, but I can't do anything for myself anymore.
The reason behind his love for food is pretty wild too. Food is like his new best friend after he quit other stuff. After rehab, he started turning to food for comfort instead of, well, less legal things. Basically, food filled the empty space that other stuff left behind, making it his new feel-good fix. But hang tight, because we're diving into some serious family history soon.
This is an addiction. It does make me happy and it makes me feel good. But a lot of my weight came after rehab, after I quit doing drugs. I come from a big family.
His childhood story is both sad and a bit of a roller coaster ride, with enough twists for a soap opera. He talks about having a rough start with a mom who was addicted to drugs and how they moved around a lot. You start to get why life's been a struggle. The ground was shaky right from the start, but just when you think that's enough, there's even more family drama coming up.
She did meth. She was still a good mom. She still took care of her kids first, and then after that, she did whatever she did. My mom, when I was younger, was scared that my dad's grandparents were gonna take me away. And just like that, we left and drove from Washington to this little chill park.
And here comes a sweet part that's a little unexpected. His grandma baked like there was no tomorrow. She was all about showing her love with cookies, and she didn't just bake a few, but like 6 dozen at a time. He had free access to sweets 24/7, which was fun as a kid, but you can see how it set the stage for later. Get ready, because the teen years are just around the corner, and things get bumpy.
Make cookies, she didn't just make a dozen, she made like 6 dozen, and she left them on the counter. I can just get to them whenever I wanted to. By the time I hit middle school, I was 180 pounds. My problem was, I never really had the discipline when it came to snacking. If I was having like a rough day, sugar high just felt comforting.
Okay, this part is actually pretty heartwarming. He's got a special connection with his younger siblings. The twins brought him joy and a sense of purpose, giving him a reason to keep going. They're his lifeline, making him feel less alone, even when life's tough. Next, we'll see what happens when his social life takes a turn.
And then my sister and my brother came around, and things were good. Twins, they mean everything to me, even now. I had a really good time with my brother and sister. We had lived in the trailer park. We had a swimming pool right there. Always in the pool. It's like taught them how to swim. We went camping. Right.
This guy's high school years, talk about going off the rails. He ended up hanging with the wrong crowd and found himself tangled up in some not so great stuff. This part of his life really changed things and set him up for a wild ride with addiction. And if you thought that was bad, the next part gets even more intense.
I started hanging out with the wrong crew. That's when drugs came into my life. It just got out of control from there. I guess my mom felt guilty that I was on my way to winding up like her. Her way of handling that was just to throw me out in the street. So I moved in with my grandparents full time. I would chase any high I can get.
Things get real fast. He goes from struggling to getting picked on by random people while he's homeless. One time, people were actually snapping photos of him on the street, and he finally realized he needed help. It's rough, but it pushes him to reach out, even if he doesn't know how things will turn out. And trust me, his next attempt at getting help is anything but smooth.
Bullying me just because they know I wouldn't be able to get up and defend myself. In the end, that's what finally motivated me to reach out to anybody I knew who could help.
Are you done with tea?
No. The first person to try was this teacher from my high school days. He helped me out and bought me a ticket back to Everett, Washington.
Post-rehab, You'd think things would get better, but oh no. Food steps in as his new sidekick. Now, instead of running around, he's mostly sitting and eating, and the pounds start piling on fast. Food replaced the old habit, and this time, it's like his new best buddy, leading to some pretty rapid weight gain. And guess who steps in to help him out next? You guessed it, family.
So I went to rehab, 350 to 400 pounds. I got clean, stopped moving around as much really, and I started eating more. I put on another couple 100 pounds. In Washington, they have low-income housing programs. The state paid for me to live off burgers from the fast food place next door.
Family comes to the rescue with some tough love, giving him the kickstart he needs. His sister and brother decide it's time to help him turn things around, and they all rally together for a fresh start. It's the first time he's got some real backup, and you can feel the hope building. But don't get too comfortable. This family's got their own struggles coming up.
Me and my sister finally said, hey, we gotta do something. That's when me and my brother came out of the hotels and came back here.
Bradley, wanna help me make a list for the store?
Yeah, let's do this.
And then we're gonna get some soda.
Probably need to get some milk and eggs, maybe some bread.
Everybody in my family has tried drugs.
Now, we see that he's not the only one dealing with addiction, and this is a family-wide thing. His family talks about how they all have battled with addiction in some form, and they're hoping he'll find the motivation to break out of the cycle. They're all rooting for him to find a healthier way forward. But the real heartbreaker, that's coming right up as we dive into their biggest fear.
The best case that I can see happening is him getting motivated enough to lose the weight and just get healthy so he can have a life.
Maybe a rack of ribs.
If you want, you can slow cook them one day.
We need barbecue sauce.
I can care less if he's 300 pounds and able to walk.
The family's fear of losing him is just gut-wrenching, and they're not holding back about it. They're terrified that his weight might end his life too soon, and they're desperate for him to stick around. They just want him to get healthy, no matter what it takes. And as we get to the end, you'll be left hoping the same thing right along with them.
I can care less if he's 300 pounds and able to walk, or if he's, $175 and able to go run marathons, as long as it extends his life period. Because my biggest fear right now is him being so obese that we can lose him any day.